Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I offer an update on the case of Romana Didulo? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the incident, then offer my analysis. Romana Didulo was born in 1974 in the Philippines. In 1990, she moved to British Columbia, Canada. At some point, she worked with a company that recruited talent for the oil and gas sector. In July 2020, she launched a political party in Canada called Canada First Party and appointed herself as the leader. Her motto was, "Draining the Swamp in Ottawa." Among other promises, Romana pledged to cut taxes, take down corrupt politicians and law enforcement officers, and eliminate communists and globalists. Romana declared herself to be the Queen of Canada, the Commander-in-Chief, the head of state of government, and the leader of the world. Later, she used the title Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo, Commander-in-Chief and Queen of the Kingdom of Canada. Her ideology appeared to be similar to the QAnon conspiracy theory movement. For example, Romana said she was waging a secret war against political leaders like Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau, and claimed they were part of a group that harmed children. She never explained how it could be a secret war if she publicly stated that she was waging war. Romana made a number of other fantastical claims, which attracted a lot of attention. For example, she claimed she was recognized by Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, communicated with aliens, could erase people's memories, and had the power to shapeshift. By the spring of 2021, Romana had 20,000 followers on the messaging service Telegram. She protested against the COVID-19 vaccine, threatened healthcare workers, and claimed she would introduce special intergalactic medical bedchambers that would regrow organs and limbs. If the chambers could only regrow brains, she would have been in good shape. Romana told her supporters that Canada would be pulling out of the United Nations and called Canadian politicians criminals and traitors. By August 2021, Romana had 40,000 followers on Telegram. She issued royal decrees in which she nullified all fraudulent courts and replaced them with the Royal Court of Queen Romana. By this time, it seemed fairly clear that Romana had formed a cult, more so than a court. In the fall of 2021, Romana had 70,000 followers on Telegram. She asked her supporters to purchase groceries for her. On November 27, 2021, Romana was briefly detained by the police under a mental health act after allegedly ordering her followers to kill healthcare workers. No charges were filed against her. Romana continued to energize her supporters. She told them that all debts in Canada were forgiven. They didn't have to make mortgage payments or pay off credit cards or student loans. Some of her followers lost their homes because they stopped making their mortgage payments. Romana and a dedicated group of her followers traveled around Canada in recreational vehicles and stopped at various events. She claimed to be backed by the United States Armed Forces and declared that all politics were eradicated in Canada. Martial law was in effect until she stated otherwise. In April 2022, Romana tried to enter the United States, but was turned away. This was her third attempt to get in the country. On August 13, 2022, Romana and her cult followers gathered at a police station in Peterborough, Ontario. As she waited in an RV, protesters attempted to arrest police officers at the police station. Ultimately, the police officers were the ones who did the arresting. Some of the followers were charged with crimes like mischief, resisting arrest, and assaulting police. Later, Romana made it clear that she was not involved in any way. She was only there to watch. After this bizarre encounter with the police, the cult members drifted aimlessly around Canada for a while. By February 2023, Romana's following on Telegram dropped to about 50,000. Now moving to the timeline of the incident. In September 2023, the Queen of Canada RV convoy pulled into Kamsack, Saskatchewan. This is a small town that sits on the eastern border of Saskatchewan. Romana declared that her intent was to educate locals and impose changes. The police escorted her and her cult members out of town. Sometime around September 18 of that same year, the convoy arrived in Richmond, Saskatchewan, about 7.5 hours west of Kamsack. This town of about 130 people sits near the western border of Saskatchewan. Romana selected the town of Richmond because she was invited by a man named Rick Mans. Back in 2017, he bought an abandoned public elementary school in town, hoping to start a marijuana business. The business never opened, so the school remained empty. With Rick's permission, Romana and about 15 to 20 of her loyal followers moved into the school. They put a metal fence around the property and placed no trespassing signs. For his loyal service to the Queen, Rick Mans was promoted to a diplomat in the Kingdom of Canada and is referred to by group members as His Excellency. The residents of Richmond were not happy about the new visitors. Tensions ran high. There was a lot of anger, confusion, fear, and disappointment. Romana's cult members spent a lot of time video recording residents. Locals and journalists spent a lot of time video recording the cult members. It did not seem like a productive use of time, but there's probably not much to do in Richmond. As a form of protest, locals would drive around the school honking vehicle horns, and some threatened to burn the building down. The cult sent out cease and desist letters to locals, threatening to execute them if they failed to follow the Queen's decrees or failed to accept her as their sovereign. On October 7, 2023, Rick Mans didn't appear to be acting very diplomatic at all. He was arrested and charged with 3 counts of intimidation and 1 count of assault. Romana conducted live stream broadcasts from the gymnasium of the school. In addition to the followers who lived there, other followers would make the trip to Richmond to attend these gatherings. About 50 people would be in the gymnasium at one time. During one gathering in October 2023, Romana made her followers repeat an oath of sovereignty under natural law in the Kingdom of Canada. The cult members promised to remove themselves from maritime law. Even though this is a strange oath, the people seemed excited about it. Afterward, Romana rewarded her loyal followers with Queen of Canada fake currency. This fake money is purple, just like Romana's official flag and other symbols she uses. The residents of the town became increasingly frustrated. They desperately wanted to find a way to encourage Romana to abdicate the throne, or at least to get out of town. Residents collected any evidence they thought could be used against the cult. For example, during one of Romana's live stream broadcasts, residents spotted a heater sitting on a propane tank. This, of course, is a violation of the fire code, mostly because of the explosion part. Locals also argued that the old school building was zoned as commercial. People aren't supposed to be sleeping there. Despite gathering evidence and raising money, members of the community were not able to get rid of the cult. The police told the residents that unless the cult represented an imminent threat, they could not do anything to make them leave. As far as the cease and desist letters, which did contain a threat, the police don't know who wrote them. The residents are worried that eventually cult members could become elected officials in the town and take over completely. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Romana has shared both her origin story and her destiny with her followers and the public. She claims to be from an ancient royal dynasty. She has saved the world a few times while turning away billions of dollars that was offered to her by various people. Romana cannot be replaced as a leader because no one will ever have the same brain, soul, or spirit as her. The title of queen was earned from the highest dimensions and realms, as well as from the planet Earth. Not only can Romana shapeshift, erase thoughts, and cancel all debt, she has the ability to visit people when they are dreaming. This is also known as having a nightmare. Item number 2. Romana appears to be fascinated with alien life. She declared that the Intergalactic Federation of Worlds of Light Beings are aware that she is the one leader on Earth with the purest intentions to help all people. She has promised to grant Earthlings access to off-world technologies like food replicators. These magical and non-existent inventions are also capable of making boots. Perhaps that's just to have some variety in one's diet. Romana has told people that she is from the planet Arcturus. She was sent from a master creator to save people. Arcturians are like Yoda and very advanced. Romana said, quote, "I am not a dictator. I am guided by the highest divine beings, and I am here to deliver peace and prosperity," unquote. If she was an alien like Yoda, she would have said, "Dictator not am I." Part of her alien story involves her superior DNA and the idea of manipulating DNA. In one post, Romana said that 4 genetically modified super soldiers were being pulled from cold storage to destroy her enemies. The soldiers were created by mixing the DNA of Filipinos and white rappers to create the strongest race known to man. They possess a life force and power never seen before on the planet. Item number 3. The town of Richmond doesn't have a lot going for it, but one element they were proud of is how the name of the town contains the letter U. The locals often repeat the phrase Richmond with a U. They are setting the bar pretty low to use the word proud. However, now with the cult in town, they have a new claim to fame. The town is the home to the Queen of Canada. It sounds like the locals would be happy returning to simpler times and getting rid of royalty. Even though the residents can't force Romana to leave, they are trying to make it difficult for her to stay. For example, they will not do any work for her. She has been looking for a plumber without success. The school does not have heat or hot water. Romana is a super powerful alien who can take on any form, but solvent cement welding CPVC pipes is beyond her capabilities. Item number 4. Is Romana's cult dangerous? In my opinion, it is reasonable to believe that Romana's fanciful, bizarre, and threatening statements could incite her followers to cause harm. She has put herself in a position of complete control over these gullible supporters. They even had to take an oath removing themselves from maritime law. What's next? Will they remove themselves from criminal law? Anything is possible with this cult. Former followers have accused Romana of making them work long hours, preventing them from taking showers, and forcing them to sleep on the floor so her dogs could have the bed. Her pro-luxury sleeping arrangements for canines' position may seem harmless, but she's just one step away from disaster. Today, the dogs are in the bed. Tomorrow, they are using food replicators to make boots in preparation for a ground invasion. Item number 5. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Romana was self-centered, grandiose, irresponsible, erratic, cold, callous, paranoid, had magical thinking, falsely believed she was special, and had a sense of entitlement. People normally would have dismissed her when she proclaimed herself to be the Queen of Canada, but by adopting many different conspiracy theories, she attracted a wide audience. Some of her supporters were interested in the QAnon components, others like the sovereign citizen angle. Those who were not inspired by those two conspiracy theories latched onto the idea that Romana was an alien. She offered something for everyone. It should not be surprising that people who have catastrophically poor critical thinking skills would have low standards in a cult leader. Romana proved that to be a successful cult leader, one only needs to endorse every known conspiracy theory. No need to be picky. The more the better. Now moving to my final thoughts. When looking at the many notorious cults that have existed throughout the ages, it's hard to imagine how anyone would fall for the lies of cult leaders. Even so, some of the cults started with promises that could be appealing to some people. For example, living in a commune, pursuing artistic endeavors like music and crafts, and interacting without traditional social restraints. Put another way, having a lot of sex. Romana's cult does not offer any of these features, yet she attracted many followers. Her cult offers all the downsides of cult membership without any of the benefits. Ironically, Romana is now promoting nonsense about how she is a supreme alien being in a place that was once used for education. It's not all bad news for Romana. After all, she is surrounded by a town full of people who would love to see her return to outer space. Those are my thoughts on the case of Romana Didulo. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comments section. They consistently generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.